a few weeks ago, I was on a retreat outside Orlando
Yeah.
with some really powerful channels, and we did a heart opening ceremony. It involved MDMA, but that doesn't affect me too much. It just kind of settles me into things.
Sure.
And in the middle of it, there was a lot of activity going on around me, and I just settled into a chair. And what I see sometimes these days when I settle in like that is swirling violet, sometimes bluish purple light, which to me seems to have something to do with the crown chakra. And all of a sudden, a vision of a mantis came in front of me. Eyes closed, my eyes were closed. A vision of a mantis. Had my eyes been open, I would have had to cross my eyes to see it because it was right there. I wasn't surprised, I wasn't alarmed, and it had a benign feeling. It wasn't like a whoo kind of a kind of a thing, and it was pretty amazing. And I know the tricks the mind can play, but I had nothing that I can recall in my consciousness of a mantis or a mantis being. If my mind were going to make up something, it seems like it would be something more in terms of, what I think about or what I read about or something like that.
Totally.
So that was the first thing that happened. And the second thing that happened, we did an activation a few days later. And Christy, who was doing the activation, she's a powerful channel, asked me if I would assist. In the middle of it, I was going around and doing various things, not even knowing if I was really doing anything. And I had a very strong feeling, and I could almost see it, that I was looking out through the eyes of that mantis being. And it was, I don't know how to explain it other than to say it seemed very real. So that's why when Dana sent me the information about you, and I'm seeing amazing synchronicities in my life now. So when I get something like that, I just go with it. And that's how we ended up together. So that's a little background of how I contacted you. And
Well, I love, love, love because listen, like, I'm not surprised that they came to you during an MDMA thing while you're opening your heart. Duh, you know what I mean? And I mean, it's amazing. Oh, hey Daniel.
hi, Tony, how are you
How,
doing?
good, how are you? It's very good to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
Where do you live, by the way?
I'm in upstate New York, kind of between Albany and Saratoga Springs.
Oh, nice, nice. So I'm in DC. You may already know that or not.
Oh, at first I thought you were in Sedona because that's where Dana is, but I guess he met you at an event or something there.
Yeah, I travel a lot. I travel like twice a month. Well, at least last month, twice a month, next month, twice a month, and then it'll be like 1 month, one time a month each year, each month. God, I can't speak. Um, well, it's very good to meet you.
Oh, it's great to meet you.
Have you had channeling sessions with other people before?
Yes,
Okay, so you know how it works in terms of asking questions and all the good stuff, yeah?
yes,
Okay.
yes, indeed.
Okay. So, do you have any questions for me right now, like before I kind of like share a few things about how I work, just so you have an idea?
Yeah, just in general, because I'm very interested in what you say.
Yeah.
In general, it was just a few weeks ago that I became interested in Mantis energy, and we'll discuss later how that came about.
Yes.
But so when Dana sent me your name, I was very interested, and it was kind of fortuitous, and so I'm all excited about doing this. So.
Yay! I love it. Thank you. Thank you. Uh, so you didn't have a question, you just wanted to comment, right? I just want to make sure like you
Yeah,
got.
I don't think I have a particular question, just in general. It's new to me, and
Yeah.
whatever you can tell me, I'm sure will be helpful.
Amazing. So look, the way so I'll set the phone for an hour and it will beep and like you'll hear it beep and I'll kind of stop it. I'll have my eyes closed the whole time, but I'll have the phone very close to me like a mantis. So like with my eyes closed, I can just kind of stop the beeping. Um, and then we'll end naturally like a few minutes after. Like we're not gonna cut it off exactly where the thing like begins beeping. But you're welcome to ask any questions. When I say any questions, I mean any questions. Like No limits of any kind. Whatever your soul needs to know, you ask. They'll come in and like they'll tone a little bit and like they'll bring a message through for you. And then they'll get to a point where they say, "You're welcome to ask a question or pose a statement." And at that time, you can just begin dialoguing like the same way that we are dialoguing right now. If you're confused, you're welcome to say, "I'm confused. I don't know what you mean." Like total dialogue, like human, very normal. Interrupt, that's totally okay. Like literally, what's important for me is for you to be you and to get what you need to get from here. Now. Oftentimes people have a list of questions, 10, 20 questions, whatever. We begin the session. They don't use any of those questions. A whole like new set of questions like will come, which is cool. But sometimes you get to a moment where you're silent and you don't have a question. Don't feel like the pressure to fill the void like with a question if you don't have a question, because in the silence, like they'll bring all kinds of messages like to you that are no way on earth I could imagine. Like I had a lady that didn't have any questions. Like for a whole hour, I was just blurting out stuff. They were telling me past lives. I don't know. I have no idea. It was a lot of stuff. But like the point is, because us as humans, sometimes if there's like this silent moment, you're like, oh my God, like am I supposed to ask a question? Don't freak out. Like you can relax. If there's no question, just chill, and like they'll come in. But if you have a question, ask. Um, that's basically it. I mean, I want to make sure you're comfortable and, to speak with them like you're talking to me. Very normal.
Wonderful.
Cool?
Very
Okay.
cool.
Okay. All right. So I'm gonna set this for an hour, and it's 11:33 right now, which is a great 1133. Great,
Wow.
great. Whatever. Great numbers. All right. So, okay. All right. I just need to ground for 1 second quickly, like before we begin. We haven't begun yet. I just need to take a deep breath in. And you're welcome to keep your eyes closed throughout the whole session. You can ask your question with your eyes closed. Like my eyes will be closed the whole time, so I won't say anything like until I come out. Um, there's no right or wrong way, okay? Okay. You ready? Okay.
Yes.
Set this. Okay. And from the Antari Stargate, we come through in this way. To co-create with you this beautiful reality of oneness. To merge our hearts with your hearts, to be one with you in this way, to be one with the miraculous energies that you are. And we say the word energies because you truly are all of the energies within the infinite. You are not one identity. You are all of it at once. Your focus in this reality may be a focus for one identity, but know that your life is intertwined and interconnected with all the other energies and all the other versions of who you are that comprise of what the infinite is, and that you do have access to all of those versions of you. You are a live being, a being that is alive, constantly forming and reforming, constantly searching for more of itself, of who you are. Because the only way truly to know that you are the infinite is to continue to emerge as the new version of who you are out of the many versions that exist for you to tap into. And it is no coincidence that you have already tapped into the energy of the Mantis beings, as you have said. As they have begun to introduce to you their frequency and vibration, to give you the marker that you are expanding, that you are going through in this lifetime, specifically in this timeline, in this specific pinpoint of time. You are a butterfly emerging out of your cocoon, transforming into the many colors that you are. Metaphorically speaking, yes, but know that you are literally like a butterfly coming out of its cocoon finally, in a sense, allowing yourself the opportunity to tap into the many beings that you are, the many aspects of who you are as the infinite. You will begin to see your life with a lens of what you call a kaleidoscope. That with the eyes that you have, with the physical eyes that you have, you will begin to see in a different way. Almost as if you are looking through a kaleidoscope, being able to see the many different views and facets and the many angular light reflections that you are made of. A beautiful way to be able to decipher your reality that way. To have the option and the vision to see yourself in a 360-degree view, in a sense, all the different facets of who you are. A beautiful journey you are on, our dearest one. And with that, we will begin our dialogue with you in this way. And you are welcome to pose a question, make a statement, or sit in silence with us as we deliver messages to you from your beyond. Thank you, our dearest one, for allowing yourself to be in the void of all. In a sense, in the 0 point where all exist, yet nothing exists. As we tap into your energy this way, we have shown the channel the image of clouds, the sky and the clouds. Should you feel called or have ever felt called to lay on your grass, on your back, or sit down on a chair and simply observe the clouds rolling by, do so. As that reflection of what clouds are, those little particles of water contain electrical charges that are constantly communicating with the fabric of your universe. That although through the illusion of separation that you are laying down or sitting on a chair looking up at what seems to be a separate cloud than you, it is truly another version of you, another watery aspect of who you are that has electrical charges that are waiting for you to hear the whispers. Remember, you are interconnected within the fabric of all realities, our dearest one, and have access to all the wisdom and all the messages that are always there around you. So as you practice the idea of watching the clouds roll by, you will begin to connect with the electrical impulses that are constantly being received and sent by many beings, including the idea of what you call the cloud, that is giving you more aspect of who you are, giving you a peering, you are peering, giving you access to peer through beyond the veil. And the image of a fox was also shown to you, our dearest one. That being playful throughout that journey is also key. Should you feel to be mischievous in a sense, and funny and trickster, do so. Allow whatever versions they need to come through, they need to speak, they need to simply be, to be, without the judgment of. And your heart, our dearest one, has been opened and will continue to fully open. You will have moments where you are unable to take a breath, in a sense. It's overwhelming. Know that in that moment, your heart has expanded, allowing more energies in. And the gasping for air is simply an effect, a symptom, a marker to let you know that your heart has just widened. And yes, the mantis beings will begin communicating with you. So allow your channel to open, allow your heart to open, and allow them to feed you, in a sense, reveal to you the wisdom that lies for you. One specific mantis keeps showing his face, masculine energy. You will develop a close relationship with him, and he will allow you access to many other realms, our dearest one. Simply surrender into not knowing what the being is meant to share with you, and allow the experience of surrender to reveal to you exactly what you need to know. You have also lived a life of what you call warlike, where you are defending your home, a life on another planet, another being you were. Crab-like being you were. However that comes to your imagination, the image of a crab, the ocean being you were. And you were defending your home from invaders, we will say. And you were able to lead your people into safety, as they do regard you as their savior. Very tapped into the water elements of that planet. A leader you were, our dearest one, led with courage, with unconditional love for your civilization. And you were able to save the many on your planet. And you were able to create a diplomatic truce, we will say, with the other beings that attempted to take over. You have a keen ability to be an ambassador. The act of diplomacy is within your DNA and structure. That although those beings attempted to take over your planet and hurt your people, you were able to, in a sense, speak to them on a vibration of frequency that no one else has been able to do before. And you were able to come up with a solution between both of the beings. And it is because of the unconditional love that resides within your heart that you were able to do that. And it is because on the unconditional love that resides within you that those beings were able to see you fully for who you are, and were able to understand you and your species from that clear, unconditional love aspect of being. Is that clear?
Yes.
Know that you have been an ambassador for many other beings. You assisted on bringing together beings that perhaps weren't able to see each other fully. You were truly a galactic ambassador, bringing different factions that have once seen themselves as different and were able to merge them together as one to the unconditional aspect of your archetype. And also an image of the Arcturians is within your field. That your DNA structure contains the Arcturian civilization DNA structure for healing. And your healing emanates again from your heart. And you have indeed been invited on many ships as a child. The idea that your society says abduction isn't really abduction. It is an invitation aboard ships. And you have been aboard many ships, one of which you'll begin to remember that relates to the Arcturians themselves, where they gifted you a Merkaba of light that entered your physical body, that intertwined with the DNA structure of your being. Does that make sense?
Yes.
And that illuminated aspects within your field that has always been there for you to embrace, to be able to see. And as a child, you were sensitive in a sense, you were aware of certain things, yet confused at times, as many of you are on your evolution. And the idea of silence also comes heavily in your vibration and field. The idea of sitting by yourself, in a sense, contemplating, allowing your thoughts to pass by, allowing the thoughts to, in a sense, stop and just allow a new way of communication, being and receiving to be, is an integral part of your, we will say, integration, expansion. That silence, within the silence, within the illusion where nothing exists, is where you are able to find the keys that you are searching for. And the color yellow is coming heavy in your vibration and frequency. Should you feel called to play around with the idea of yellow, do so. May it be a t-shirt, may it be a bedspread, may it be a new car, anything that has to do with yellow, play around with that. It may be a flower, yellow flower. Allow the color, frequency, and intelligence of such a color to guide you, and try to tap into what that being is attempting to tell you. And do not be surprised that bees, the insectoid bees, will be hovering around you. Do not be afraid should one decide to land on you. Simply be the vibration and frequency and sound of creation that you are, and you will be able to resonate with its sound of creation. As all these reflections of bees around you will be reminding you of the high frequency that you are coming into, that you are embracing, that you are being. And should you feel called to be on a boat, or take a boat ride, or be on an ocean, do so. As the cetacean, the water beings that live within your oceans will also be communicating with you. You can simply place your hand into the water as the boat travels, traverses, and you will be able to receive the codes and send codes to those beings that you are ready to speak to them, to connect with them. And astrally within your dream realms, you will be able to communicate even stronger. Should your dreams have not been vivid, they will become more vivid. A flowering soul you are. Petal after petal, after petal keeps opening, revealing to you the many facets of your infinite beingness. A beautiful lotus flower you are, ever expanding into the many petals that are within you. The idea of Bigfoot will also become relevant to you in the very near future of your timing. Don't think too much of it now, and you will know the moment that that Bigfoot energy will be present. Embrace such a being, as they are beautiful interdimensional beings connected to Mother Gaia and many other realms, planetary realms. And the idea of falling into the abyss, the feeling of you are falling, almost like a roller coaster, you may experience every once in a while within your sleep state. Do not be afraid. Surrender into that fall and allow what needs to be revealed, as the hanging on to the fear of falling will allow you not to see what is right in front of you. You are always protected and held by the fabric of the universe, our dearest one. Simply allow that fall to be what it is, as it will reveal to you secrets of the universes. And your crown chakra has been opening up further and further. Should you begin to feel tingling, vibrations, frequencies, itching of some sort on your head, know that it is your crown chakra that is continuing to open wider and wider, allowing you a channel of information to be able to be received easier. And again, your vision will change. The way that you see your world will begin to alter. It may seem confusing and scary at first. Allow the vision itself, allow what is being revealed to you to simply be. Do not try to control the paradigm. As your eyes, your physical eyes in this dimension have not seen the all, our dearest one. You have only seen a glimpse of the infinite, and yet the infinite is there waiting for you to see it. Silence again is part of your archetype. It is a place where you are able to recharge and remember the many pieces of who you are, the many shards of the infinite. Know that silence itself is consciousness and intelligence made by creation, that is creation. Are there any questions that we can help assist with? If not, we will continue on this journey together. We honor your path. We honor your vision. We fully see you as the creator. Thank you for allowing us to be here this way with you, and for opening your heart to us as we merge together as one. The idea of sacred geometrical structures are coming into your vibration and frequency. Should you feel called to draw what you call sacred geometry, do so. And it is not about the idea of the sacred geometrical angles needing to be perfect or right. It is simply about allowing your hand to move those lines in such a way, to move those angles in such a way, to connect each angle in such a way that allows your mind to remember the faceted being that you are. It may become a hobby of yours that when you are in a mindset of thinking, in a mindset of contemplation, that you begin to move your hand with a pen or a pencil, drawing sacred geometrical structures without thought. Play around with that idea and allow your body to guide you. As with each stroke of the pen, you are rewiring your brain to remember more. With each angle that you are creating, you are allowing your mind to rewire itself into a new paradigm of being, a more expanded version of understanding. And should you feel called to take walks into what you call your nature, trees, mountains, do so. As the elemental energies there will be assisting you on your journey, allowing you a different and other facet to be co-created with you on that journey, on your path. Specifically, the fairy people have been assisting you since childhood. They've been there on the periphery, not always, but they would pop in and out when needed to guide you, to nudge you, to throw you a breadcrumb to keep you on your path of your desire. In the image of a tent, we will say TP, like structure, has been shown. A lifetime where you have lived as a shaman-like being, a being very connected, intimately connected with Mother Earth and Mother Gaia, with the rock consciousness, with the animal consciousness, with the bird consciousness, with the wind consciousness, with the sunlight consciousness. All those elemental aspects you were heavily connected with and had an intimate relationship with. In drumming, dum 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 was also part of your vibration and frequency. The drumming aspect took you to another world, opened up portals within your heart to allow you to see beyond the veil. In this lifetime, should you feel called to listen to drumming, shamanic drumming, do so, as many memories will reveal themselves to you of that lifetime. And during that lifetime, you had a wolf that was a best friend of yours. One specific wolf, grayish, whitish in nature, large, that you have befriended and became one. A beautiful invitation that that wolf has extended to you and that you have accepted that invitation then. And as you have opened your heart to such a being, to such an energy, you were able to be the wolf itself. Running in the wild, feeling your legs as they run, and touch the blade of grass, touch the stone, feel the wind on your fur, be one with nature, literally held by the fabric of nature itself. A beautiful, intimate connection you had with such a wise being. And you have also lived a life where you have orchestrated galaxies. Yes, you heard us correctly. Orchestrated galaxies. You were an energy being, you were a consciousness, a collective of consciousness, where you would literally organize planetary bodies for such a galaxy to be. Because of your intimate connection, your interconnectedness with the fabric of all, your awareness of such a thing, you had the ability to move around planetary bodies in such an angular way to allow such a galaxy to function at its optimum, allowing the habitants and the civilizations that live within such a galaxy to have the most impactful planetary alignment. And because you have gifted them such an alignment, it allowed them to accelerate their ascension process. Cat beings are also here. You have lived a life as a cat being, our dearest one. The image of a beautiful humanoid-ish cat-like being was shown. Regal in nature, gold attire, reflective, very sure of self. A being that is able to peer beyond the veil and has always had the ability to peer beyond the veil. And because of that, it gave you, as that being, the confidence to be the cat-like being that you are. You have assisted also other civilizations as the cat-like being to allow them to see beyond the veil. You have given them tools, and we will say tricks of the trade, to allow them to go beyond the 3D, in a sense, version that they were living in, to be able to see more of who they are, more of the fabric of the universe that their minds weren't able to see. In a lifetime of slavery, we also have lived on this planet, a different timeline, where you were a slave, our dearest one. And also have been a master as well. 2 lives where you needed to see for yourself the perspective of such a facet. Meaning you chose to be a slave to understand what it means to be disempowered, and you chose to be a master to understand what it means to be empowered. And both of those dichotomy, the irony of such choices, allowed you the neutrality point of understanding what power really is. That you fully surrendered into both roles to reveal to you what each role is. And through both of these roles, it gave you the key of what neutrality and unconditional love for self and all really is. That power is unconditional love for all. Even the lifetime as a slave, you unconditionally loved as you were able to see the value in such a path. in the life that you live as the master, where you empowered others, you also were able to see the value of, as it was truly part of creation. Both roles allowed you the experience to expand, and through those expanded states and surrender, you were able to see the neutrality of both of the roles, which gave you the key to be the neutral, unconditionally loving being that you are, honoring each ascended master's journey on their path. Should you have ever wondered whether or not you are connected to the cosmos, don't anymore, and know that you always have been, you always will be. There has never been a point where you were ever disconnected to all. There simply is the illusion of such a disconnection, and that is only an illusion and not a reality. And you have access to speak to any being of your desire. Should you choose to speak to whom you call the dead, you have that ability also. As you know, there is no death. You are always living as energies, creating and co-creating a new reality for self. Serenity also surrounds you. The calm energies of creation is part of your archetype. And that allows you more clarity than you think. The fact that in this lifetime you have chosen as part of your structure, your blueprint, the calm serenity aspect that allows things to simply be as you observe, gives you the ability to see things clearer. Should you not have had that serenity archetype within your field. And the idea of time will become slippery, we will say. Your time as you expand will begin to slip. You will have moments where you have spent an hour doing something and it may have felt like a few minutes, or vice versa. There are moments where you're unable to remember what you just did a few seconds ago. Know that in these moments you are shifting through different timelines. You are slipping through timelines. Little markers for you to let you know that you are expanding the way that you see your world, expanding the way that you see the idea of time and space. You will become more aware of those moments, those gifts that are being sent back to you, reflected back to you, to show you how expanded you are becoming. And traveling the cosmos, you will also have the ability to do. You will be able to astral travel, as many of you say, into any planetary body or timeline that you choose. And yes, you will be able to do it on demand, whenever you choose to. And the idea of religion within your field will change even more. Not that you were a religious or non-religious, that is irrelevant, but the idea of religion overall, that comprehension and expression of creation will shift drastically for you. Although the mind is able to understand such limited concepts, your consciousness, in a sense, is more aware of the expanded version of what that is. And your mind will be able, in a way, to think like consciousness, your consciousness thinks. You will let go and drop ideas of your society that have been created for you to keep you, in a sense, within the limited aspect of creation. You will begin dropping such concepts, almost as if they don't exist as part of your vocabulary. All of these are signs, signals, and markers for you that you are expanding into the more. And do not feel shame or guilt for doing so either. As you expand, things change. As you grow, ideas morph into new ideas. As you rebirth yourself into a new being, a whole new vocabulary and understanding and expressions of creation are being reborn too. And speaking of birth, you have a hybrid child. A hybrid child that is very connected to the idea of time. A hybrid child with another civilization where they are, we will say, manipulators of time. They are able to shift timelines very easily. But the idea of time from that being's perspective is very different than the time that your humanity has experienced on this planet. He will give you new ways of thinking about what time is, and he will be able to transfer to you information that your physical mind will not be able to conceive of. And it will assist you on understanding the neutrality of what time really is within the timelessness of the infinite. Tick tock, tick tock, tick tock, tick tock, tick tock, tick tock. He will assist you in truly understanding what that is from an expanded way. We will allow that beautiful young being to gift you that knowledge. Many beings are coming through for you, our dearest one, waiting for you to connect with them. A lizard-like being has just come forward. Friendly looking face, ready to reveal itself to you, and vice versa. But it is waiting for your invitation to do so. As you have been preparing for this moment in time, our dearest one, you have been preparing for a while to be able to be aware that you are the conduit for all beings, that you have access to the many beings that you desire and can imagine. And you will experience a romantic moment with one of those beings. You will meet a new being within your astral realms, within the consciousness of who you are beyond the mind, where you will remember a romantic relationship you had with that being. It will be visceral. You may cry at such a memory, and it will allow your heart to open in new ways as the idea of romance and love that has been shown to you by your society on this planet in this timeline is a limited version of what it truly is as part of creation. You will be able to feel that being, in a sense, to be with that being romantically in an energy type way, where almost as if both of you merge into one and you become that being fully, allowing you a new way of understanding what romance is. And that will open up within your heart, that will fuel your romance for life, for what life truly is. You are ready, our dearest one, to receive the knowledge that you seek. It is all within your power, your creation. And it is a lot closer than you think, our dearest one. The image of a cross has been shown. We will leave that there. Something for you to decipher in the very near future of your timing. Know that many of the information that we are sharing with you may be relevant in this specific moment of time and will be also relevant on your path as those seeds are being embedded within your field to allow you to rediscover yourself. The image of a crystal skull was also shown. Should you connect with such beings, with such consciousness, do so. The idea of the 13 crystal skulls that your humanity has heard of, you may begin to vibrate on that frequency and vibration. As that crystalline aspect of such a skull is, in a sense, a supercomputer holding knowledge within it of the cosmos. And working with crystals may be beneficial for you, whether it is a skull or just a crystal from Mother Earth. And the working and the calling for such a crystalline aspect is also tied to the idea of light reflections and photons, on how light intertwines with such crystalline structures and how it reflects back geometrically, those sacred geometry, back into the fabric of the universe. So there is a link between the idea of crystalline structures and light, frequency, and vibration, and how those two create the beautiful mandalas of creation, those sacred geometrical angular light reflections. And you can work with the idea of crystals in many ways. It may be physical and it may be within your conscious mind. You may be able to imagine, in a sense, you holding one of the most beautiful crystals that creation has ever created and look at it in a way, in a different way, where you are able to see within it, three beyond the dimensions, within it, all of the fractals and facets and the reflection of light that is occurring within its own essence. Many ways that humanity can work with such crystalline beings. You are what your humanity calls jack of all trades. You have your hands into many things, our dearest one, within the cosmos. And it makes sense, perhaps, that you are becoming aware of the many hands that you have, as you are a multidimensional infinite being. The idea of working with metal is also within your field and vibration. You have lived a life where you restructured metal, carved metal in a sense, molded metal into different shapes, and that allowed you an intimate connection with the elements of your planet. And working with fire is also, has been, a big part of that life. Connecting with the idea of melting things and reforming them into something new. Melting old shapes of metal to be able to reform a new shape out of that fire. And the word Jupiter is coming to the vibration and frequency of the channel. We will let you decipher your connection with the planetary body you call Jupiter. And it may go beyond the planetary body, our dearest one. It may be the vibration and frequency of that name, Jupiter. Yes, a healer you have also been. A being that vibrated the healed state of creation for others to allow them to choose such a vibration and frequency. You held space for the many, our dearest one, to allow them to align themselves with what you call healed state. A beautiful being you were then, a witch, our dearest one, feminine in essence, who has concocted many potions for her people. Witch of the West, we will say. Very well known, very connected. to creation itself. A beautiful being that has assisted the many in finding the aligned, healed state within them. We will check in with you. Are there any questions that we can help answer? If not, we will continue on this ride together. Thank you for speaking your mind, as we have fully heard you, our dearest one. The idea of hands are being shown to the vibration and frequency of the channel. Working with hands in this lifetime is crucial for you. Whether it is creating, whether it is working in earth, planting, whether it is healing others with Reiki, the idea of Reiki, massage, anything that includes the idea of hands will be beneficial for you in this lifetime. Allow the hands to reveal to you where they need to go, what they need to create, as those hands are creation, our dearest one. They know precisely what they desire. They know precisely which direction they need to go. Allow them to speak and allow your heart to hear them fully. Know that we are communicating to you beyond words when we are silent with you. We are exchanging light codes and frequencies, and speaking in ways that your mind is not able to comprehend in this now moment of creation. We will sit in silence with you for about 30 seconds of your timing, and we will dialogue that way. It is time for you to take off the mask and reveal who you truly are to the world. No more suppressing your light. No more suppressing your voice. No more suppressing the many versions of you that have been desiring to be on the stage of creation. There is so much light within you that needs to be seen by others. There's so much warmth within you that many desire to be embraced by. A travel you will do. A car was shown in the channel's mind that you will be traveling somewhere soon where a new activation will occur organically, unbeknownst to you, that will push you into a new paradigm of being. Should you feel called to go to a specific geographic location on your planet, do so without needing to know why you need to go there. Simply traverse to that sacred point in time and allow that point on your planet to gift you and reveal to you what your soul desires beyond the mind. Know that everything is occurring synchronistically and precisely by your creation. It is all orchestrated perfectly the way that it needs to allow you to expand and to continue to expand on your journey. Trust your intuition without needing to know the details. Trust the calling, as you will be guided to travel across your planet oftentimes. And having said that, remember that your planet isn't only this planet. Your planet is the whole universe at your disposal. Astrally, you will be able to travel. You already have, and you will continue to do so. To bring codes, receive and send codes from each of those spaces. And an image within your mind will come up very soon, within this year, an emblem of sort, a logo of such will burn into your mind. When that happens, do attempt to draw it, to attempt to recreate it, as that will be a symbol for you, for the commander that you were on that crab, the crab-like being that we mentioned earlier. That will be, in a sense, the emblem for that civilization. You will know precisely when that happens. And it may be an emblem that is already pre-created by someone else, but the moment that you see it, you will have and know immediately what it is. You may begin incorporating such an emblem within your life, within your business, should you choose to. It is a reflection and a memory of a courageous life where you, as the ambassador, were, where you brought two civilizations together with the unconditional love that is within your heart. That despite the illusion of the fighting, despite the illusion of the separation between both civilization, you were able to be who you are, allowing the other beings to see, to reflect back to them the unconditional love that they already have within them. A galactic ambassador you are, our dearest one. And we honor your many journeys fully, and we see you fully for the beautiful creator that you are. Are there any questions that we can help assist with? Thank you. We have reached our timing. We will bring the channel back momentarily as we head back to the Antares Stargate. With our unconditional love, bright, 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 bright white light of creation. An infinite, infinite, infinite open heart. We thank you for this beautiful co-creation of oneness and for allowing us to witness you in your glory, for allowing us to be here with you in this way, as you have allowed us to expand through your lens and mirrors. And you have ultimately given Source the gift of expansion through your eyes. We will bring the channel back momentarily as we head back to the Antares Stargate where we choose to reside.
Thank you.
Hi, Daniel.
Hi, Tony. That was amazing.
Oh my goodness, thank
That
you.
was really amazing.
Oh my,
Um,
yeah,
I didn't ask any questions because I just wanted to get into the flow of the whole thing. I don't know if you could tell, but my breathing slowed to a really meditational, maybe 2 breaths a minute, and I was just there.
I have chills. I have chills all over my hands.
And so when you asked if I had any questions, I was just sitting there in silence, trusting that the right answers would come through. A couple of interesting things.
Yeah,
Um, a few weeks ago, I was on a retreat outside Orlando
yeah,
with some really powerful channels, and we did a heart opening ceremony. It involved MDMA, but that doesn't affect me too much. It just kind of settles me into things.
sure.
And in the middle of it, there was a lot of activity going on around me, and I just settled into a chair. And what I see sometimes these days when I settle in like that is swirling violet, sometimes bluish purple light, which to me seems to have something to do with the crown chakra. Then all of a sudden, a vision of a mantis came in front of me. Eyes closed, my eyes were closed. A vision of a mantis. Had my eyes been open, I would have had to cross my eyes to see it because it was right there. I wasn't surprised, I wasn't alarmed, and it had a benign feeling. It wasn't like a ooh kind of a kind of a thing, and it was pretty amazing. And I know the tricks the mind can play, but I had nothing that I can recall in my consciousness of a mantis or a mantis being. If my mind were going to make up something, it seems like it would be something more in terms of, what I think about or what I read about or something like that.
Totally.
So that was the first thing that happened. And the second thing that happened, we did an activation a few days later. And Christy, who was doing the activation, she's a powerful channel, asked me if I would assist because lately I've been doing funny things with my hands. You were talking about hands, and my hands, I would be in a supermarket or something, and my hands would just go out in front of me. And I just thought, I'm nearly 73 years old, so my hands are stretching and trying to do this or that. But Christy on one of her channels told me that I was communicating in light language and that Christy, the person, could understand everything that I was saying. Um, and it was kind of interesting, but like a dream, when she came out of it, she couldn't remember what we were discussing. But anyway, she asked me to assist in the activation. In the middle of it, I was going around and doing various things, not even knowing if I was really doing anything. And I had a very strong feeling, and I could almost see it, that I was looking out through the eyes of that mantis being. And it was, I don't know how to explain it other than to say it seemed very real. So that's why when Dana sent me the information about you, and I'm seeing amazing synchronicities in my life now. So when I get something like that, I just go with it. And that's how we ended up together. So that's a little background of how I contacted you. And
Well, I love, love, love because listen, like I've done hundreds of channeling sessions, and like normally I don't feel unconditional, like the understanding of what unconditional love like from others, but with you, I felt it very deep. Like I know what it is, and I really try to live it, but you have to know it in like consciousness to be able, so, and it's really funny because the mantis beings are very, very emotional beings, and they understand unconditional love like more than, I mean, there are a lot of other beings that get it too, but like to me, they showed me what unconditional love is. So I'm not surprised that they came to you during an MDMA thing while you're opening your heart, duh, you know what I mean? And I mean, it's amazing. It's just like, and like your hand, yes, the hands were so, my God, like, yes, light language, anything, your hands are key. There's something with your hands, and like don't worry about what's being said. Just do what your hands want to take you. Like do wherever because look, sometimes when we want to understand what the hands are actually doing, you stop the flow of what the hands actually doing.
exactly, I become self-conscious about it.
Totally, totally.
So it's when I'm innocent, when I'm in the supermarket or something, when I'm most innocent is when I notice my hands are out and about and I become aware of it and think, gee, does this mean? And then my mind gets involved.
Totally, totally. And it could be locational too, like all like the hands may get activated when you're in a specific location where it needs those codes. Whether it's supermarket or the bathroom or on the street or in the river or wherever you are on a plane. It's because there's like I just heard locational, like trust what the hands are doing wherever they're doing it. Even if you're at a retreat in the middle and you're not supposed to move and the hands are moving, let them move. Because there's beyond, right? You're so tapped in. Have you always been aware you've been tapped in, or you've been becoming more tapped in recently?
I it's a relatively recent thing.
Yeah.
I started meditating, doing transcendental meditation when I was 25. And
Okay.
I shifted from a very, very, very Western mind to
Yeah.
more of an Eastern mindset.
Sure.
And so the trajectory of my life has been a slow, methodical climb, almost sometimes disappointment that dramatic things weren't happening because other people would tell stories about seeing a blue deva during meditation. And I would like, I get quiet, I get peaceful. I think my life was getting a little better each year. But boy, Tony, the last couple of years, this trajectory has gone like that. Oh, and
And
another thing that you mentioned
yeah,
was the breath. I was on a call with my friend Christy, the one I mentioned is a powerful channel, and some other
yeah,
people. It was a
yeah,
Zoom call. And I don't generally ask questions. I usually just sit there and take it in. And I asked her the question about, I was in my meditation chair, and I don't know if a minute had gone by or 20 minutes had gone by, but all of a sudden I came back gasping for air, and my hands were, it was like I was clawing to the surface of water or something. And it wasn't scary. I mean, my mind was watching it saying, that's interesting. And, but it was a few seconds, I don't know if it was 10 seconds, 5 seconds, 15 seconds before I could get my breath. So I don't know if you can recall, but that was one of the things you mentioned, that struggling for breath in the reading.
so the way that my memory works after this is like you say something and I just know I said it. Because I could feel right now going, the the like the breathing, almost like a roller coaster, like how you go on the it's like
Yeah.
like it's like your heart drops or whatever it is, and you go, wow, amazing. Um,
It was, I've heard people describe sleep paralysis and out of body experiences, and I have no memory of going anywhere.
yeah,
But it was that feeling of coming back, whatever that means,
yeah,
and reestablishing breath, and kind of a little bit of a shock to the system, but not in a negative way. I didn't feel fear. It wasn't like,
yeah,
oh my God, I'm having a heart attack or
yeah,
anything. It was just, ah,
yeah. Heart opening. I mean, listen, when our heart opens, um, as it opens, there's more information, there's more like energy, and that dam of energy is like, you're trying to take it in. So it's amazing. Um, wow. Wow. And your life is, yeah, because I feel right now it's just about to take off. And like you just described, like that your life was whatever, and now it's gone like this. Well, it's going to continue. There's going to be a lot of, but it's going to become very normal. It's like now it seems like, oh, I had another life where things were like this, but now it's like that. It's just like this whole upward trajectory is going to become very synchronicity and very, yeah, of course, that's how I expand. And it's just going to be the new normal, which is kind of amazing. Um,
well, I'm connecting the last few years, I'm connecting with amazing and powerful people.
yes.
You're one
Wow.
of them.
Oh,
Uh, and just loving it. What an adventure.
yeah.
I have a YouTube channel called Adventures with Haysky, and in
Oh,
in my retirement life, I'm just traveling the world, and sometimes just traveling, sometimes going to retreats and things like this, and um, doing videos on them. And um, my videos are by 3D standards, getting a little stranger and a little stranger all the time, but I'm having such a ball with it.
yes. The more strange it is, the better. You're breaking through the paradigm. You're letting people know that all of our life is really the way that it expands, not how it's supposed to be. I'm 60 years old, I'm 70, I'm 20, I'm 30, whatever, I should be here or there. No, you're writing your own story, which is amazing. And the energies behind that flow is really important, right? When you are like just being yourself and traveling and doing wherever and being led wherever you're supposed to go, and you're writing about it whichever way you want to write about it, it's like through the YouTube thing, you have your own energy of just being. This is my life, this is my story. You take it's not about convincing others or anything, you're just being. That energy is so powerful. It's it's being. Like that's what everybody's trying to do is be, but everybody's not being. They're being what they're supposed to do, what they're told to do. So,
Yeah.
so it's important to stay, in that vibration and in that frequency and continue on being. Because listen, whatever's happening now, you have no idea what's going to happen next. Like things will unfold in just insane ways the more that you be. Insane. Like things will come. It's just like, I mean, like my life the past year and a half have exploded in like mysterious ways. No way on earth I could have imagined it, and like the more I fall into the unknown, the more that like I don't need to know what's going to happen tomorrow. I don't need to know how things will be. Like that's real surrender. And you're in like magic land because it's like because now you're opening up the whole universe. You show me and you give me what I need to have today, right? Without having the expectation of, oh, I need to do this or have this or like the whole limitation. I'm like choking the universe when like the universe can provide me with anything that and oftentimes you can't think of what we need, right? It just appears and you're like, oh, I need this today. Like it's amazing. It just becomes flow, and that's what flow is.
Yeah.
So,
Beautiful.
um,
It's interesting that you mentioned the word magic. The
yeah,
word that occurs in the title of more of my YouTube videos than any other is magical. So it might be magical Savannah during Halloween or
of course.
whatever, but that's just the word that comes to me when I'm doing this.
Of course, because you're recognizing your own state. You are magic. I am magic. The universe is magic. And it's not a coincidence. You keep using it over and over again to remind yourself that we are made of magic. We are the magic essence that we're looking for. Um, it's life is beautiful, my friend. It's so good to meet you. I just want to say that.
Same here. Thank you.
No, you have awesome, the energy is just and like the silence with you. Oh my God, I was in this deep state where I'm like, I could not talk for the next 10 hours. Like there's something with you in like silence. Um, it's just beautiful. It's wow, yeah, and it like makes sense because I have the feeling that you are expanding even more than you ever thought you expanded before. Like there's a lot of magic in your life that's gonna happen. Oh wow, that's amazing.
Yeah, when I was 25 and I was probably closer to the dark night of the soul kind of thing, my
Yeah,
young adulthood,
yeah,
18 to 25,
yeah.
I never, ever would have imagined that I'm within a month or so of being 73, that life in old age would become such a joyous adventure, unimaginable adventure.
I have chills right now because that's exactly how I feel. You said exactly what I was feeling is that you thought you lived life before, you have no idea what life was. Now you're truly, I mean, of course that's part of life and like you lived it and it's great and like we honor it and it's valid part of creation. But now it's like the full surrender into literally the unknown. It's and what and how many like every years that you're gonna be on this earth and all the stuff that you're gonna experience from now until we like become energy again is gonna be 100 times what you've lived the past whatever 70 years, it's like so concentrated, so intense, so much, and it's just beautiful.
Gonna be
Because that's
fun.
what we all have been trying to do since we were kids. I mean, we were doing that when we were kids, but then we got changed because of schooling and who knows what else, and social media and marketing and all the suppression out there. So now you're being unsuppressed. You're just being you. Now you're realizing, wow, I'm fucking magical. I have all this freaking like you're creating, you're manifesting in like like you're not thinking about manifesting. You just are because you're being constantly, you know.
Thanks so much. This is wonderful.
You're so welcome, Daniel. It was an absolute pleasure. I have to get off short because I have to show a house in 20 minutes. So I'm a realtor. I don't know if like you know that. That's
I
all real
did.
estate.
I looked you up and I watched some of your videos and things
Yeah.
like that.
Yeah,
So
so I have a showing at like 12 at like 1:15. So I have to get going. But I'll send you the recording like when I'm back because it will take 20 minutes to download and then you can re-listen to it. Please re-listen to it as many times as
oh,
you
I
want
will.
because and look, like you may got called to listen to it today because you're excited and then a month later and 2 months later and a year later sometimes and new stuff comes up. If you have any questions, as you like listen to it, like feel free to text me and say, hey, like what did you mean by this? And I can tap in. So like
Thanks
I'm
so
always
much.
a resource for you. Like don't feel like this is it and you don't have me anymore.
Yeah, no, I look forward to reconnecting. Thanks so
Okay.
much. This was wonderful. I enjoyed it thoroughly.
Thank you. Thank you, Daniel. All right. Have a beautiful day.
Take care.
All
Bye
right.
now.
Bye.